Today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. Today, an all-time high episode. What the fuck? Bitcoin is pumping, and I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go to talk with you about what the heck is going on here. Of course, we predicted it, or better, M2 predicted it, and we were just the messenger. But Bitcoin is now rising and in new price discovery, so let's not lose any time and get into that right now. So let's check this out here. Where's the camera? Directly into the charts today, at least for the beginning. So let's see what is going on. I woke up and I couldn't believe my eyes. Bitcoin 111,000, a beautiful number, and absolutely broken out here to the upside in a very, very nice pump. And of course, you know what that means. That means all the bears were wrong once again, calling for a triple top, calling for a fake basically a test of the all-time high, and then down into the bear markets because of the big crash, this and that. Not happening. Instead, 5% pump, nice flows of funds into Bitcoin here, and of course that means Bitcoin will be all over the news again. So all the retail people will now see it in the news. Oh damn, Bitcoin broke its all-time high and now it's going to fly to I don't know where, 120k next step or so. We will see that in a second. So really, really good development here with a really beautiful daily candle close at all-time highs. So we see here, never have we been this high on a daily candle close, and now this next day is already unfolding beautifully, and we will see where we are going. Maybe we are going to form a weekly God candle here, who knows, right? But if you look at the week, there is not a single week in the red since we bounced here. And I mean, we have called this bounce nicely. We said if that continues here with strength as a bounce, wow, then we are really bullish because of our macro setup. Right now we are taking it out. The week is not closed yet, 3 days, 20 hours still, but it's looking really, really great. And of course, this weekly close was already an indicator, messenger of the highs here. So how are you feeling, guys, on this whatever today is, Thursday morning? How are you feeling? And yeah, let's check out the chat a little bit. Thank the rare hodlers for the continued support that you are bringing me here to this all-time high, and I'm taking you to to this all-time high here. So let's see here. We have Pro Legendary in the house. Sub boys first. Mewtwo. Oh boy, the morning coffee is boiling this morning. Absolutely, with the fat Bitcoin rocket. We are really excited. We have G Money in the house bringing us the coffee, and of course Trucking Hank. So a lot of rare hodlers here, guys. May I ask you please to smash up the like button for the stream before we are going to get into the action, and of course opening the portfolio. If you're having a Bitcoin overweight, is really nicely. And that exactly raises the question that is just popping up here in my chat. When do you think alt season or alt station? I don't know, but you mean alt season, I guess. Yeah, exactly. Well, we will discuss this today. We will discuss this, but I think I've outlined it many, many times. That first Bitcoin will make its move, suck out liquidity again from the altcoins, and let's look at our setup here. And I have given you the indicators here without bragging too much about prediction or so, right? But I've given you the indicators. You remember that we said, okay, the RSI is not really overbought. The TSI did not cross on a bearish cross when we were down here, right? And most importantly, the stochastic RSI has one of its famous bull cross right here, right down here, which always led to, as you see here, massive pumps, multi-week, multi-month green pumps, which implies that we're probably going to have some really nice green months in front of us. We have the inverse head and shoulders pattern here, right? We broke out, we retested, and now is only the start of, in my opinion, the final leg up for this Bitcoin bull market, and very likely our targets were way too conservative when we made them back here, but we will see how that unfolds. We have the TSI coiling up again towards this downward sloping line, and if you're new to this channel, if you're subscribed, let's put it that way, if you're subscribed, you know already that the TSI might give us the implication when we hit our bull market top for Bitcoin. And as you can see here, there is still a multi-month space to the upside, now pointing, if we go this direction that we are implying right now, and that would mean massive pump throughout the next 3 months or so, we would end up somewhere July to August at this trend line. That doesn't mean that a trend line cannot be broken, but that would make me cautious that this is it. But we are far away from, or we are close to it, but far away from it at the same time, okay? So you remember we made a video here in January from the beautiful, no, actually in December, from the beautiful beaches of Brazil, saying that we believe that we are now close to the end phase, right? Closer to the top. Yeah, we had then this retest here, and now we are going on this last leg, in my opinion. So many people were in this, hey, how can you say this is close? Yeah, if you look, my favorite time frame is the monthly, and therefore something that happens in the next 3 to 4 months is closer. Okay, so I'm not operating in the 4-hour or 1 hourly chart. But that all is a setup for an altcoin season to come as well, right? So every bear said that this will never happen, what we're seeing right now. Now it's happening. All the bears are saying the altcoin season is not happening. Therefore, I think it will happen. So let's see here also, this is the global M2 versus Bitcoin. This is the predictor, right? It's following nicely. This is still at 107K. So we are in this impulse move right now, somewhere here where my mouse is, right? If this prediction goes as expected, we should end up beyond 120K with this pump. And maybe even going to 130K before we have our next major correction on Bitcoin, right? And then the question is, will there be already some money flow into the altcoins while this is happening, or will we just fire on Bitcoin and again hold back on the altcoins? We don't know. I would say if we have another sideways, prolonged sideways, and by the way, global liquidity is pointing now to 185,000, right? That's crazy. Retrace, I would say at somewhere at the 130 mark at least, right? Latestly, 130K mark, down to back to 120K. Yeah. Mewtwo says, my friend got shaken out of the market in the last dip. I feel bad for him, but scared money don't make money. Yeah, absolutely. And at this level, yeah, the Brazilians have a saying. They say, at this level of the championship, yeah, but basically, if you translate it, okay, if at this level of the championship, you cannot get shaken out anymore, in my opinion, on Bitcoin. Why the hell? What the hell? I mean, everything that is happening for Bitcoin is so massive that it's not possible to get shaken out. So maybe you shill him my stream, then he can get back into the game. But this will continue, in my opinion. I think this is the point where we break in this impulse phase. This impulse phase is likely to go on for the rest of this month, right? Another week and so on. We will see probably close our month somewhere at the 120K level, right? Just predicting it here based on M2. Of course, little bumps and bounces can happen. Of course, we can get to 115K and then back to 110K and so on, right? That all is happening. We are looking at weekly candles and monthly candles here, okay? And those are all green. Okay. What is really interesting is to see the Bitcoin network money flows. Yeah. And what we see here is, or let's phrase it with Willy Woo's words here. I've never seen flows into Bitcoin coming in so smooth. It's like institutions are dollar cost averaging with their billions now. And we see it, yeah. Usually it's like coiling up and then abrupt breaks, right? This is all, by the way, this is not previous cycles or anything. This is this cycle. Okay, so we had seen that also here in our last pump in October 24. The money flow comes, and then especially the 30-day flows, and then bam, they're ramping up, right? Yeah, and now we are seeing like this really curving out, coiling out, and probably going parabolic here, the money flows, right? And that's what. Yeah, that's what's going to pump this to 150K or so, right? What is very, very interesting, and we may go and analyze the stats here also ourselves, but look at this, right? Indicator dashboard, historic social metric risk. What does that mean? It's basically says how much people are looking or up social media based on YouTube subs, YouTube views, Twitter analysts views, Twitter exchange views, and Twitter layer first, right? Layer ones. So we are very much at the all-time lows of attention for crypto, okay? Which is absolutely nuts. It's absolutely crazy. Whereas the price is at all-time highs. Okay, so last time when we had that also before the break. You see that the engagement was really low, not that low, but it was really low until going into the absolute parabolic stage where Bitcoin just printed God candles every other day, right? And the question is, will we see this phase this time where retail comes back and looks for where can I put my money? Very likely the moment that this fires up so much, right? With the moment that we are moving parabolic. It's the same here, by the way. If you look in the previous cycle, also here, right? The parabola is already going up, and then at some point people are looking it up, and then with every pump and every retracement, we are seeing that again. So the question is, did we really just come out of our bear market and not get much traction and engagement here? Well, the question is, what needs to happen to bring people to these levels of social media engagement, right? And this is also why I don't give up on my channel, because I know that you guys are the elite of the elites of people that are actually sticking around and want to make life-changing money, and that the other ones, they will come in due time, right? And then we have to then we have a new let's say personnel in the chat that is new to all of this, right? So let's see, that will happen one day, right? Right now it's only you degenerates. So let's see, it's starting to become more scary as the portfolio gets past 100k. A short-term altcoin dip can retrace the portfolio back to 50k. Wow, that's, yeah, it's crazy. It could, but also it could be that every dip now for Bitcoin, we see some inflows into altcoins of profit taking and then another push on Bitcoin, right? So back and forth. Mewtwo says macro politics, wars, Trump administration, and global uncertainty is still taking up all the attention. Would that make sense? Why the attention is so low? Maybe it will shift soon if we go much higher. I think so, yeah. I think it makes a part of that, and also that many people are out of money still. Yeah, they still they still are not back in, hey, I want to invest some dollars territory. Or if they are still back to gold and stocks, and they still need to see this. Right now I see it in a lot of like older people. With older, I mean 50 to 70. They're talking about gold, like gold this, gold that, gold high, gold whatever, right? So yeah, it might be that when gold is too high, that's somewhere where the narrative shifts then and says, okay, gold is already so high, let's buy something else. But right now they're buying into the pump, right? So also this is happening. I think this is adding to much uncertainty right now. The US bond market is in massive trouble. Today's 20-year treasury auction was a disaster because buyers didn't show up. So the yields then spiked to 5.11. Meanwhile, banks are buried under 500 billion plus unrealized losses. That's 7x worse than 2008. The Fed will be forced to step in. So the problem is that no one wants to buy the bonds. So what they do is they buy the bonds themselves back so that they are bought by someone, okay? Of course, you can imagine that that will not work very long. Yeah. So the coming money creation will make every past quantitative easing cycle look like a child's play. It's going to be, and this is where if you see that this is leading the Bitcoin price by 3 months, and you are just in the beginning here of massive quantitative ease, massive money injection and so on, well, I'm curious to see where this push is actually going, right? I would say in the next days we will see how global liquidity expands more, way more, and then we will probably have to readjust our expectation for the Bitcoin price. And as this money expansion is coming, this will all hit the market. And when this hits the market and the pockets, then it's time to look out for the Google search trends and see, hey, when are the people stepping in with that money, right? We see, though, an uptick in Bitcoin search volume already, okay? We see it already. So who's coming in right now? Maybe even early enough to the party, right? So it's exactly. Holy shit, it's going to be the biggest print fest anyone has ever seen. I think so, yes, because that they can't do anything else. What do we see? Ethereum search terms are at 3. If Ethereum is forming a golden cross, it has pumped 20-30%. No one gives a shit, right? Bitcoin has hit 19, is now back to 25. We are in bear market territory for retail attention to Bitcoin, okay? NFTs, not even talking about, right? So this all, it's going to be, if we don't crash and burn in the middle of this because of whatever, a nuclear war or something like that, it's going to be insane, because the search terms will look like this at one day. Bitcoin at 100, Ethereum at, I don't know, 25, so where the attention for Bitcoin is right now, and NFTs later going to 30. Okay, so we will see. I think this will happen. I'll just go nuts and say this is happening. We are, and this is what I'm saying, because the question came in the beginning, I want to stick to this question, right, with the altcoins, because everyone needs altcoins to pump, right, and they will, in my opinion. So by the way, we see right now what's also predicted, that we will catch up to gold eventually with Bitcoin, right? We will catch up, and this is where it happens, right? You remember when we overlaid this and Bitcoin was going down and gold was going up, and I said this will turn because Bitcoin is poised to follow gold, right? Now, what's important, again, I will preach this here. Gold goes up, which it does right now. We are at 3,333. What a beautiful number, where Bitcoin is at 111. Wow, this looks so nice, okay? However, gold is going up. That means we are in risk off stage. People are scared. People see the bond clusterfuck. People see the war scenarios. People see whatever, like all the crisis talk that you can have. But usually crisis doesn't hit when everyone talks crisis. Crisis does usually hit when no one talks crisis, okay? But now, okay, everyone talks crisis, okay? The program for investing for everyone is risk off, right? When crisis talks are. Hence, gold is still going up. We see a big candle. We will see if gold will rally once more. For altcoin season to hit, we need to go to risk on. Yeah, that is what we would need. Risk on, and risk on means that this cannot happen anymore. The money does not flow into gold then. It means people are feeling safe to go into a little bit more high return, high risk investments. So for many people, that's then not gold but stocks, for example, right? At Nasdaq, 20% returns annually or whatever, right? S&P 500, tech stocks, okay? We have seen risk off because tech stocks did not perform so well. We saw Nvidia sell off. We saw a couple of other tech stocks dumping, right? So it is, the print fest will introduce the this phase, and so this money comes into every pocket and going in, right? So yeah, the riskiest thing you could do is not to own Bitcoin, exactly. But this is, when I talk about risk on, risk off, I'm talking about what people think out there is risk on, risk off, right? For us, Bitcoin is risk off. But for them, it's risk on because they still don't get it, okay? And it will take more years for people to get it. So yeah, flat smack, I fully agree with you. It's inevitable, Stan Throw, exactly. Sven, good morning to you. Energy, what's up, man? Tito 420, good morning, everyone. Good to see you. Do you think we will ditch the dollar standard and use Bitcoin as RH3 as a new currency? I don't think this anytime soon. But yeah, at some point something else will come, and probably it's that, right? Let's see here also standard as a standard. Yeah, I see standard because it's not sustainable long term. Yeah, but what is long term? I mean, if we see the waves of new world currencies and old world currencies, I mean, this can take decades. Yeah, they can. Let's see how long this print fest will go on, but they can push this out like 12, 16, 20 years. We will see. Yeah, we will see how long it takes. But right now, I think it's more realistic other currencies collapse than that. Yeah. Also, what Mewtwo says, a theory claimed institutions and governments would hoard BTC, fiat would collapse, the economy would shift entirely to crypto, and anyone holding fiat would lose everything. Apocalypse prediction. It's not unrealistic, I would say. I just say they can do a currency reform and probably doing it instead of introducing a CBDC or something like that. They might introduce the new dollar CBDC and do a currency cut and reform with that, and then they can do it all over again, right? So this could also happen. How mean this world is, it wouldn't even surprise me. Yes, but there is options, right? There's two options. You either do the zombie apocalypse prepping and have 100 cans of ravioli next to too much toilet paper, or you can bet on the Bitcoin standard, right? That's also a possibility. Hey, Stevo the Devo. How is it going, man? Pro Legendary says, and crypto will collapse if Satoshi comes out and transfers 66601 Bitcoin. Yeah, Satoshi. Yeah, if Satoshi comes out and transfers a Satoshi, then it probably would. Would it collapse? Because even Satoshi cannot stop it anymore. Maybe it would crash and go into a bear market, but then everyone would figure out that even doesn't matter anymore, right? Even Satoshi can't stop it anymore. But I think Satoshi, whatever he is, or the group is, my theory is still that they got to them or him, tortured the person and wanted it to destroy Bitcoin. Didn't work. Person is dead. That's it. Now it's there. That's my theory. Anyways, we see USDT dominance collapse nicely out of falling, just a blip out of this. And if this move were to be confirmed, which has a higher chance, I mean, we would have to lose it for good. So this takes 1 or 2 days. But then the way down to this level for USDT is open for the dominance, right? And that would be a full percent allocated. You see how much that means, this move. This is the move basically from sub 80k to 111k, which means that then this here would at least be the move to 120, 130k, right? Lol, what a theory. Yes, I mean, nothing is impossible. So as also discussed and predicted, Bitcoin dominance is rising, which makes absolute sense. I mean, Bitcoin is the star of the show. Everyone is moving to Bitcoin. So that means altcoins will continue to have a hard time until we turn around. But I think there's good news in the bad news, and this is, we have phases where people start taking some of the profit and move it into altcoins. This is basically evidence that this is something that people do. And this was also evidence to the people that do this, that you can make massive profits in altcoins, which would lead me to the impression that at some point people will put a lot of their profits into alts to make the life-changing gains, right? So I think it's only a matter of time. But as I said before, we were wrong on this prediction here that this is the start of the altcoin season. And with we, I mean myself. I take full responsibility for that, believing that we had a breakdown, a bearish retest, and I expected a continuation, but wasn't. Now we are rising, and now the question is, hey, how often will you fake us out here until we will see our nice altcoin season, right? And just the fact that everyone says, hey, maybe this time not, maybe this time is different, and so on, it leads me to believe that maybe this time is not different at all. Maybe this time is not different at all. So let's look at the altcoins here. So, and this is a really, really good sign, because Bitcoin is at all-time highs, Bitcoin is pumping, and the altcoins are also green. Very good, very, very good. Bitcoin dominance is rising, altcoins are rising with it. And so usually when Bitcoin pumped before, we had the altcoins in the red. Bitcoin was up, Bitcoin dominance was up, and then everything else was red except of a couple of other coins. But right now we see SPX meme coin 13.9%. The hype is leading the charge with 15.9%. We have XMR up 10%, Fartcoin 10%, Core 10%, BitTensor Tau 10.6%. What is this? That's WorldCoin. WorldCoin is up. Everything else also 3-4%. Let's see if we have any degenerate pumps in the other sections. Yeah, we see Dog on Bitcoin is up 23.6%, which makes sense, right? The coins that are on Bitcoin, and maybe also the ordinals and so on, probably perform well when Bitcoin hits in new all-time highs. But also, that means once Ethereum is moving and pumping, or Solana is moving and pumping, the coins that are on top of this will be performing the best. By the way, good to see also Arweave 6% up, Rune 12%, Popcat 11.3%. So everything is moving nicely with this Bitcoin move. We have no real losers besides and so on, right? Let's see the two. So the more you go down the chain, the harder the moves are. Launchcoin on belief minus 25%, but that thing also did a 50x or so. Enemy up almost 20%. What is this? AI companions 20%. Desync, Destra Network, a coin shilled by Alex Becker, up 11.5%. So we also see the one or the other AI coin going up here nicely. Pandi AI 27.8%. Manta 14%, Per 17%. So we see a lot of coins are pumping really, really nicely. Okay, so let's take a look a little bit deeper at the alts. Also, Ethereum is in the green. We see it here. Ethereum is now at 2,600. Not a big fat pump yet, but coiling up really, really good. Our expectation is that Ethereum goes to this level, gets a little bit rejected, and maybe then the breakout happens, right? This is a work of weeks. This is the weekly chart. But we really want to see Ethereum do its thing before we can really see the altcoin season, right? So we want to see something like that. Maybe we take another turn and then bam, we are going to explode to $6,000-$7,000 per Ethereum, something like that, right? But let's see first a move inside of this pattern, and then we continue. Let's look at the total 2 and the total 3 also for general altcoin. The general altcoins. So total 2 almost lost it here. We are now at an interesting resistance. So this could lead to, if we break this here, this could lead to total 2 challenging all-time high once again, which then, if you take this neckline, have here the all-time high, and here one test of the all-time high at exactly 1.6 trillion, we would kind of have then this, right? Connecting the dots. Okay. So yes, that would be good. For total 3, which is a little bit stronger because of no Ethereum but Solana, we had a nice bounce already. We are on our way to test all-time highs. Okay, so it looks like over the next weeks we should get more green out of the altcoins. Okay, the same setup, by the way. All-time high, We did challenge the all-time high here. We are coming up once more, connecting the dots. Looks like this. Okay, you know what that means? Then we will see when we break the all-time high, it's time to fly, and then that rhymes and sounds really good. And then we are on to hopefully a parabolic move out of the altcoins. How does the others chart look? Of course, we can be fully wrong, like always here, because, or as always, not like always, there can be something going wrong. We have the same setup here, though. Nah, the others actually missed this push, so I'm not sure about this. But we will see. Also for the others, we basically have this uptrend. It's only that the move is way weaker here, okay? But we also want for the others to have a push to the all-time high and then break out of that and go parabolic and nuts. I think we will see it, but you can see it can take some time. If we would wiggle up here to that, we would already be in September. Like if we would just follow such a trajectory, that would be already in September. Just keep that in mind. By the way, we have 47 people here on Crypto Morning Coffee. Make sure to smash up the like button and don't fall for scammers in the chat. As we're seeing here, someone posting weird stuff. I don't know if this is a scam or not, but guys, be very diligent here. Yeah, let's just not fall for this stuff. Okay, so make sure to smash up the like button if you enjoyed the stream, if you got value out of it. Yeah, and we will see how this story of the alts continue. But I think Total 2 is the one that we should have a look on at the moment that Ethereum is going crazy. Yeah, we see it here. The moves, right? The moves are being made, and I think if we see pumps, and this is not pumps, this is just nice green moves. This is not pumps. If we see pumps, then they will be massive, 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 massive. Okay, now MERP, yeah, whatever that is. Very, very good. Thank you for smashing the like button. Really, it's basically it's like donation, only that it's free. It really, really helps the channel to grow. What about NFTs? So we have again this from Raoul Pal, and I think he posts this from time to time. Ooh, nice. Welcome, Nick Lelipska, to the fam. Another rare hodler. If you want, get in touch with me on X. Then you will also get access to the rare hodler group, Telegram group, where we can exchange ideas. Thank you very much. So from Raoul Pal is saying, I'm trying to endlessly get across a couple of core messages in the world of exponential age and currency debasement, the mega trends. You don't own enough crypto. When you do, you don't own enough NFTs, as art is upstream of wealth. Both will never be this cheap again. Okay? Where do you find digital art? We'll find digital art in projects like VeVe, but also of course on direct on-chain like CryptoPunks, Mutant Apes, Bored Apes, and so on. Here we see someone building the gold stuff in the VeVeverse, right? Yeah, so that for the NFTs, right? And I think if the money flow stays as it is, and by the way, this is something like crypto, okay? You go here, where is it? There we go, right? You go to the money flow crypto and you see this. Where is it? Here. That's the phases, right, of crypto. And I'm going to move this to the side a little bit. We see here phase 1 Bitcoin, flow of money moves into Bitcoin, causing price surges. We have that, right? That's happening right now. And then you see the phase overlap. Money flows into Ethereum, but it struggles to keep up with Bitcoin. Ethereum goes back and forth with Bitcoin and starts outperforming it. that might be initiated right now, that overlap phase, right? So we are really somewhere in that. And after that, there is phase 2. Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin, and we hear talks of the flippening. We are far away from that as people are shit talking Ethereum. We might, though, hear this from Solana instead of Ethereum, but it's questionable, right? Because institutions did adopt quite something for Ethereum. Phase 2 overlap then is money is starting to trickle into large caps, where we see large buy-ups happening, which leads to phase 3. Ethereum has been outperforming Bitcoin, and large caps are going parabolic, right? So that's then only when, and that's pre-altcoin season. Large caps pumping is pre-altcoin season, right? That's the initiation of altcoin season. And then we have, regardless of market cap, some altcoins with strong fundamentals are having pumps. And then phase 4, alt season. Large caps have gone full vertical, and we're seeing blow off tops. Mid caps, low caps, micro caps are all tend to pump around the same time. Large caps have been outperforming Bitcoin and Ethereum. It seems every coin is going parabolic regardless of fundamentals. Memes are everywhere. Everyone is super excited, and you feel the mania in the air. That is not the case right now, of course. But we might see it. And then there's phase 5, which is missing here. And phase 5 is the new crypto millionaires have bought their Lamborghinis, have started their channels, are flexing with whatever they have, and they are then going to take some of the exuberant money piles and buy NFTs with it, okay? And that's where NFT season starts, right? So the new collections and selections plus the legacy ones that are really good are starting to go up, and people are speculating on how high they're going, and then superstars are putting NFTs into their profile pictures. That's where NFT season comes in as phase 5. That is the money flow in this space, and I believe that many of these projects will see that. Not only Bitcoin is Pudgy Penguins, it's going to be Mutant Apes, Bored Apes, CryptoPunks again, whatever that is, Dick Butts, Crypto Sheeps, whatever, right? It doesn't matter. The money will be so exuberant that these small collections will fly to the moon. Whatever is fun, maybe memes on NFTs or NFTs on memes or whatever, right? We can imagine a lot. So yeah, is possible. Being in NFTs for this bull run is like being in Bitcoin when it was $100. We're literally this early in NFTs. No one trusts NFTs yet. Yes, and I would even agree with that, because at $100, no one did trust that Bitcoin is going anywhere, and people were even saying that they're glad they went out of Bitcoin at $14 and got their money back and so on, right? So we will have that. I think we will have that in the space as well, that once meme coins, once NFTs are coiling up, some people will sell their NFTs, break even, and then brag about it, how they gladly came out break even. So I'm so glad I bought this for $1,000. Now I sold it for $1,000. God, I'm so glad I got out, right? And then it's going to $10,000, right? That has to happen. Just as your friend that went out of Bitcoin before the new all-time high. Of course, these things, they happen, right? They really happen. So yeah, that is the stuff with the NFT. So one of those projects is VeVe Collectibles, because it's just, I mean, official licensed, right? Comics. I came in because of the comics, and I still love the comics. I love the Secret Rare comics. And I think the money will concentrate on the scarce editions first. We will see how it plays, right? It could also be that it's not that, and it's only the Pudgy Penguins, but I highly doubt it, right? So, yeah. So, VeVe is doing a little bit of like engaging with these different communities here. Launching new comics on VeVe Comics side. So a lot of things going on. We just had full month of Star Wars drops. Now they're launching Captain America, or yeah, the winged one. We are seeing that. Yeah, there are a lot of things going on right now around VeVe, but I think it's not the time yet for the main attention on VeVe. Okay. I'm with you. NFTs are the big play. Art16Z says. We'll see how it is. But we see also the bored apes and so on. We see them bottoming a little bit. So yeah, this might be happening. Anyways, guys, let's look at Bitcoin. How is it doing? 110,000, 111,000 or thereabout. It will now be, yeah, basically we renegotiated the price to the upside a little bit here. Now, obviously, we find new sellers at 111,000, but it's only a matter of time, like here also, right? We may see new all-time highs coming in by the hours now. What NFTs are you liking? Yeah, Mewtwo, you can answer that, obviously. For me personally, it's VeVe. For me personally, it's VeVe. And I'd say I'm bullish on all the golden moments, on the secret rare comic of Marvel comics that also have real life physicals as counterparts. Yeah, Mewtwo says I'm betting on VeVe. I might buy up some land in Wilder World, otherwise just VeVe. I think that's also because, like, for many people, Bored Apes with an 18.5 ETH floor or 15 ETH floor is very, that's too much money. Yeah, Grogu and Pram on VeVe is the absolute grail, I think, besides Disney partner statue, and Todd Batman and stuff like that. Wow, yeah, it feels so good to have the all-time highs, right? Oh man. Yeah, let me show you this. Let's go here. VeVe Grogu. Okay. So here we see these are all VeVe NFTs, you know. But where's the Grogu and Pram? This is the normal Grogu. There we are. This is the Grogu and Pram. You see it. This is the NFT in AR. Okay. Yeah. I like my Curio cards. Apple, the first art NFT on ETH, came out before Punks. Really? How much is that going for? I thought that was Ether Rock or something like that. Wasn't Ether Rock the first? Yeah. So these are the ones, the Grogus, Grogu and Pram, secret rare and rare. I think the Grogu and Pram secret rare has 1,000 editions, so these are not one of ones. So it's a little bit different from the usual ones. But yeah, that's this guy just got matching mint 77 for both Grogu, which is crazy. Art16Z says $1,900 range. Okay, so Grogu is going for $200, I think, but it's also like it has 1,000 editions, so it's not a one of one. So I mean, that basically means that the Grogu alone has a $200,000 market cap, which is not that bad, right? Not that shabby. Also, obviously, a little bit more liquidity there then. Not necessarily. You can say that. I take that back. Yeah, but you see here, like, people do. Wow, that is crazy. Okay. Then Darth Vader meets Grogu. So people, Darth Vader's also on the app as NFT, officially licensed Star Wars, VeVe Star Wars Disney NFT. So all of these things, right? The lightsabers, yeah, it's really cool. I think this will attract people, right? I think this will attract way more people. By the way, how is the number go up? It's not insane, but the numbers are climbing for VeVe. Marty says, I was looking through my NBA Top Shots tonight. I have one. I paid 1,488 in bull, and it's now $60. Yeah, that's crazy. But I think that happened similarly to VeVe as well, right? Some VeVe collectibles. I think that I have a stamp on VeVe that I paid over $100 for, and it's now $4. So yeah. By the way, people are still minting Blackpink stuff. So it's not deleted yet. I thought it's already burned, but maybe I'm wrong on that. Or it's going to be burned today, I don't know. Or actually it's the last hours probably, because in the US it's still the 21st, right? Hoodie Miles Morales, I remember a comment, VeVe saying, anything Spider-Man turns to gold. Yeah, maybe. But yeah. So we see the sales are rolling nicely here on VeVe also, right? We see all the collectibles being sold. People are still minting Blackpink before it gets burned. Jisoo animated being minted. Yeah. So these things, then when they are being burned, they might be pretty scarce. Yeah, so we'll see how that turns out. A lot of comic transfers also here. This might be this could be one of the whales stacking as I see it here. Someone is buying all this Captain America comics. That's crazy. This all happened in the last 20 minutes. All of these transfers happened in the last 20 minutes. I also like Tiny Based Frogs first NFTs on Base. Think Base will be huge this cycle, and Tiny Based Frogs should moon. I agree with that take. I think Base will be very big this cycle, which is why they moved the OMI to Base. OMI being the coin for you, Art16Z, OMI being the coin for VeVe, or for transferring VeVe on Stacker, VeVe collectibles. These collectibles, you can buy them with OMI. And OMI being basically is moved to Base, at least that OMI that's being used there. So I would figure that could be pretty cool, yeah. So the collectibles themselves, I think they are still on IMX. Dang, I hope it pumps again so you get your money back. Yeah. Let's see. For Top Shots, I hope that as well, right? For VeVe, I'm very confident that something like that will be happening. But anyways, guys, don't forget to smash up the like button, as I think we had almost 60 people here on this live stream. So it seems really that people are waking up. Everyone who is new here, don't forget to subscribe, notifications on. We will do this almost every morning, crypto morning coffee, enjoying a coffee, looking at all-time highs. This is the good times. And guys, wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. Don't forget to like the stream, and I see you in the next one. Bye.